Templestowe. Templestowe v Boronia.
Well, big action here. Round 18 from Templestowe Reserve. A lot on the line too, with ramifications going in towards the final series here. Templestowe playing for the double chance. Boronia playing for final security. It all comes down to today's game. Season 2017 shaping up ahead of the finals as we get underway in round 18. And winning the tap there was Josh Hannon for Boronia. At ground level, his brother Luke loops the hand pass out. They move it forward through Will here, the Hawks. McKernan, his hand pass was smothered. Tackle affected there by Allen was in the back illegally. And it'll be a free kick to Templestowe, who will gain the first clearance of the match. Of course, the Dockers, in fact, no, it's going to be a free kick going back. So Luke Hannon, I think... the umpire fooled everyone on the occasion, so Luke Hannon, the clearance for Boronia, kicks inside 50, no tall options however, and the Dockers will defend valiantly as they look towards right half back. Mark taken by Nick Worthing. They use the broadcast wing to effect. They'll chip it around and orchestrate an attack. Big attack on the ball there by Wadsworth. He was bumped off the footy. That's a good show of strength there for the Hawks by Bell. And we'll get a ball in on centre wing broadcast side.
Number 21 for Templestowe, Riddle. Brad Riddle is out there. He's named as an emergency.
Yep, so that's and he started straight in the middle there, Ray.
Yeah.
So throw in, again the ball set in motion. Went through the legs of Di Stefano. Tries to pick it up at ground level again. Eventually the hand pass comes out to Matt Mariani. Great tackle affected by Burgess. That's holding the ball. So the Boronia physicality coming to the fore in the early minutes of this game. Burgess for the Hawks. Looks inboard. Good mark taken up high by Collins. Was forced to ground level. Ball currently on centre wing. Chip short. Mark taken by his teammate in Allen, who's been in the thick of the action already. Nathan Allen from centre wing. Probing kick towards centre half forward. The flyer from behind. He couldn't get up there, Luke Hannon. And in the end, his opponent in May has taken the mark. In fact, I think it was Belitsis at centre half back for the Dockers. And eventually they will clear from the outer side.
So it's Brown on half back, looking at his options. He'll go to the outer wing and drive a low pass in. It just burst through the hands as it was a fierce kick, and it's been escorted over the line by Rutherford on the outer wing.
What we've seen so far is the entry of Boronia into their forward 50. They're just bombing the ball in, hoping for those tall forwards. They've got to lower their eyes a bit.
So Rucks go at it. It's a neutral position, neutral score, and it's still big pack goes at it. Mariani tries to burst his way through. He can't get out of the pack of tacklers, so the Hawks hold up Templestowe's passage on the outer wing. Rucks go at it. Ground level Allen nearly got it, but he might have been held just as he was going for it, so Boronia win the free kick, and the ball will come back to Allen, as there was no advantage in the run from the Hawks. So Allen looks at his options, and it's a packed area. He goes into the corridor. He has one free man, but he's been called to play on, even though he marked it beyond 15 metres White, but he's had to hand pass back to a teammate. Kick is a bit of a finger burster as well, so it's now going to break some fingers with kicks like that today both ways. Templestowe trying to hold up in defence, do it nicely, and Brown again has to stand strong in the tackle. So it's an interesting start. What do you reckon of the first few minutes, guys?
I think that Boronia's had the better at Templestowe, but as I said, their entry into their forward 50 hasn't been good.
Ruck contest, and it's a free kick to Boronia's ruck in Henderson. So Henderson just outside of range by his look. He's looking at all options, but now he's forced into a kick beyond 50. It's close to the boundary line, and this will be a testing kick. Will he drop it to a hot spot about 10-15 metres out, or will he try to go for the journey?
I think he can kick goals from that position, Gav.
So it's going to take his best effort, puts it to the right post, and just searching for the distance, it screwed off the right boot and out of bounds on the full. So I don't want to be punting with you, Ray, on your tips.
So Fiorenza, the time-honoured tradition, we saw that last week in the International Cup game where they jump over the fence to retrieve the footy, the players. Nothing more quintessentially local than that.
You'd have to ask the skateboarders to get it at that end.
No, I wouldn't trust them. Fiorenza looks towards left half back for the Dockers. It falls to ground level as the high flyers forced it there with the spoil. At the back was White for Boronia. He affects the tackle and will have a bounce. Right on the 50-metre line for Boronia, right half forward. Of course, Boronia coming into this game needing a victory to claim a final spot, you would think, depending on other results, as the ball falls out of play once again on the forward 50. Templestowe winning 5 out of their last 6. Only loss during that period was to Ringwood by 10 points, so they've been in good form. The Dockers, of course, at home today. And the free kick's been picked out of the ruck contest. It will be going the way of the Hawks to be taken by Henderson. Once again, he's from that same spot. I think he's realised his mistake from last time. Goes to the hot spot. Big flyers there, but it's all Dockers once again, and they can clear it. Looking for Wilson there at right half back. Went over his head. Still a chance here for the Dockers as they move it along that broadcast wing into space. Kick towards right half forward. Chasing after the football there for the Dockers is Lodge. He's forced to ground level, and the tackle has been affected, and it trickles over the boundary line. We'll have a ball in. 55 out from the Dockers goal.
You know, Oliver Lodge is going to have a good day. He's a very dynamic mid-forward, isn't he, for Templestowe? So it's at a half-forward, 55 metres around from Templestowe's goals. They've yet to have an inside 50, and Hawks will share it through wide. Gets a quick hand pass to Burgess. Now the running Fairchild goes from the back of the centre square. His kick was a bit of a wobbler, didn't suit his leading options. So it's Templestowe holding up nicely. Chalu gets it. Now might get it back, but he leaves it for his teammate to get in there. And it's Di Stefano getting it to centre forward. His kick was a bit proppy. This was too high. The defence came over the back, and they're holding up nicely through Hannon. The Hawks trying to share their way out. Now they're off and running through Jess Bolton. Kicks it long from half back to half forward. The punch comes in. Big punch from the defender. From the point of the centre square, he knocks it all the way across the boundary.
Oh, sensational work there by Jess Bolton, wasn't it?
Yes. I can see you smiling because we know whose favourite player he is. Hello to Brett Beston.
Dual citizen.
Yes, he's not going to be a parliamentarian, that's for sure.
That's it. Malitsis wins it out of the ruck contest, gets the hand pass out, but eventually claimed there for Boronia is Henderson. We'll have yet another bounce. 60 out from the Boronia goal. Favouring the outer side of the ground as the sun streaks valiantly through the clouds on this wintry Melbourne day. Looks as if we'll have a secondary bounce here as Malitsis affects another tackle.
They've been better so far, Ray, at locking the ball in their forward half of the ground, Boronia, haven't they?
They have been. They're just their entry in there, Dan.
So the tap once again. Good tackle affected by Fancello. Forced to ground level. Diving for the football there is Worthing. Still footy in dispute, and it's picked up there by McKernan. Sends a dicky little pass into the pocket, and the mark's been taken. Might be a 25. It is, according to the umpire. So Boronia will have the first realistic shot on goal in this game, and it looks as if it'll be right in front, and the Hawks should get the first blood on the board here.
And Damo, it looks as though those skateboarders will be picking themselves up a brand new red nurry.
That's it. Hopefully they don't run off with it. We probably have seen that in the past. They used to do that at the Adelaide Oval in the old Victor Richardson gates when the ball was hit over the fence. They take it in their pocket and run. So it's Jess Bolton, who from point-blank range scores a gimme goal. And Boronia have first blood in this crucial last round game. They're 1 straight 6 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Templestowe yet to score.
Well, Ray, that's a reward for effort right there. I know it came from a 25-metre penalty, but in the opening 8 or so minutes of this game, or 7 or so minutes of this game, that Boronia have been able to lock the ball in their forward half of the ground a lot more effectively, and I suppose they've had most of the play so far, so it's great reward for effort there.
It's been a very good 8 minutes for the Boronia Football Club, but we talk about momentum in football. They've got the momentum at the moment, but when you have momentum, you've got to hit the scoreboard. 8.5 minutes coming up, or 8 minutes of play actually being gone, and only 1 goal. I think that Peter Brown will be, thinking that maybe we should have had another 2 on the board.
And a great effort by Bolton, some gut running. He was there to kicking it at half back, and he got in position in the pocket not long after. Well, Damo is impressed by the mullet on the water boy. That's going to put Billy Ray Cyrus to shame.
Oh, unbelievable.
So the ball's back in the middle. It's amusing what makes us laugh. As the rucks go at it. Hannon did with the tap, and he got it down to McKernan. Midfielder kicks a high up and under, but it's been chopped off by Templestowe and Brown on the half back. And looking for some options. He'll kick it long down the outer wing. Lead comes up. No mark taken. Rundle will have to go at it again. He leaves it to his teammate to kick it to the half forward line. Nice mark over the top by DeCarla.
Lodge.
Lodge just quick to play on. He's got a man all on the open, but it didn't get there. So Boronia do nicely just to chop it off. And they'll use the boundary line just as their rescue outlet, as that kick just didn't have the metres on it to get to the open man. So So Templestowe, first time really inside 50 as they trail by a goal. 7 minutes into this first term. It's a ball that's in the middle of a huge pack. Will Templestowe be able to burst their way out of it? The tackle's fierce by Boronia, and it was one of those swing tackles. Luckily, no pain on the Templestowe player. So it's a ball up 30 metres out from goals. Rucks go at it. At ground level, Templestowe kicking into the corridor where the numbers suit Boronia and Hannon. He got bumped after he marked it. Didn't really do much damage to him other than hurt his feelings, but he gets a 25. So it's actually it's Dodd who took the mark in the last line, and he gets a 25-metre penalty going the way of Boronia. So they'll load up the kick as Bell goes short to Allen.
Very experienced umpire in Jamie Beattie out there holding the player there.
Hannon kicks it to Rutherford. He pierced the pass to centre-half back. Now they're off and racing Boronia, but the chopped off kick to Pony takes the mark, and he quickly goes to May on the wing, broadcast side. He looked inside for a hand pass, but then saw that was chopped off. Now he's got a short at half forward, and he'll find Lodge, who takes a nice mark again at half forward. Lodge from 60 out, looks at a leading option, puts it out in front in the pocket on the bounce. It is taken, and couldn't elude a tackle was Pearce. And Pearce was taken down, and the boundary line it's a free kick against him for holding the ball. Brilliant tackle there by Lake.
Dan, what Boronia have been able to do, when it has gone on the odd occasion into the Tempe forward, Boronia have got the numbers back really quick.
They certainly do, and it's good to see both sides sort of look to use the corridor in the last few minutes as well, particularly, even if it's taking the game on, break a few lines and be able to work it, because as we mentioned before, you cannot be stuck out on the wings.
Lake and Bell combined to get it to Johnson as Boronia move it through the corridor. Hand pass comes back to Bolton, who's been prolific in the opening 10 minutes for the Hawks. Great evasion of a couple of tackles there from Josh Hannon. Pumps it inside 50. In the front spot there was Rapisada. Didn't get the free kick. Snap across the body by Patterson. And it's another one for Boronia. Great snap on the right foot. And the Hawkers move to 2 straight 12. They lead Templestowe yet to score. 12 minutes into the first term. Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Ray, on the occasions that we have seen Patterson play this year for Boronia, he's always been able to kick those, I suppose, mercurial goals and create opportunities out of nothing. And I suppose today it's going to be a big factor that Boronia have already got 2 goals on the board, but those particularly those opportunistic goals are going to be all important, particularly with I guess the functionality of their forward line.
Well, what got Patterson that goal then was once a marking contest, the ball come to the ground. It was just his strength. He just burst through the opposition player and put it on his foot and a goal.
He kicked 5 goals the last time these two teams met, so he's going to be the danger again, you'd think, at full forward, as from that ruck contest in the middle of the ground, not much happened. It's going to be another ball up. We'll soon go boundary side to get our first comment from Tim Fitzsimons, but it's back in the middle of Templestowe Reserve, where Templestowe are trying to get it on the outside of that pack, but it goes forward for Boronia. Can they get off and running through Hannon? Now, this time White runs over the ball. So Templestowe under a lot of pressure as Boronia get it inside 50, but they've got a rescuing mark taken by DeCarla, who took it nicely in defence about 30 metres out, looking for a leading option. Will it hit the target of Riddle? It does, and as he falls to his knees, he slides into the mark just inside the boundary line. Now, broadcast wing he goes, hoping to get to the contest was Wilson, but Henderson stood tall, and he took the knee in the back as he took the mark and load up a long kick into the forward line. Who will mark it for Boronia? It's the Templestowe defence again, and brilliantly done this time again by Tapono, who took that mark earlier as well. So Tapono, 2 good marks in defence as Templestowe go the outer side.
Mark taken by Jackson. Outer side of the ground here at Templestowe Reserve. Marked in front of his opponent in white. Chips it short. Templestowe probably a little more methodical in terms of moving it forward compared to the free-flowing Boronia. It's the Hawks winning out on the scoreboard at the moment. Chip backwards to go forwards. Mark taken by Melitsis, who's had plenty of the football. Accumulated a lot of disposals early in this game. He's at left half back. Called to play on by the umpire. Melitsis off a step. Looks towards the outer wing. A shocking kick in the end. Straight down the throat of White for the Hawks, and they can reload again. Looks inboard. Ryan Henderson, he's been an enigma so far for the Hawkers. Looks inboard with the hand pass, and they share it around. Taken by Luke Hannon, and they move it through the corridor. Kick inside 50. Big fly came from Patterson. Falls out the back. Docker defenders could sweep on it and shark it. And they'll move it again through the corridor.
Oh.
Kick partially smothered. White on the right foot. Curls it round for a goal. The Hawkers are on fire at Templestowe Reserve. They're 3 straight 18. Templestowe yet to score. We've gone 15 minutes in this first term.
What Boronia were able to do then, Templestowe got the ball and they started to come out this way, but as soon as he looked up, all he could see was Boronia players out this way. So that caused him to switch the other way, and of course when he switched the other way, his kick was smothered and an easy goal to Boronia.
That's similar to what we have seen when we have seen Boronia play this year as well. That's high pressure intensity, particularly the defensive side of the forwards that do create them a lot of goals.
Well, if you're going to kick across ground, you've really got to get some elevation on the ball, and not at that time. So the Tolls are causing havoc for Boronia in terms of rushing Templestowe in their defensive area. The umpire calls for play on, but there hasn't been much movement of the ball from that centre ball up.
You're stuck with the stoppages, Gab.
Yeah, again.
Must be me.
So Rundle wins the tap for Templestowe, but it comes out the back for Boronia to load up and kick it long to centre forward. The defence rush out. Prestigiacomo does claim it. Gets it off to Melitsis, who spears a pass into May. And May's got it on the wing. He's got a short ahead of himself. Puts it in front of the leading option. The bouncing ball finally gets to Wadsworth. He bundles his way through the pack. Gives it back to May. May loads up a long kick to the option leading out there. No mark taken. Fanchalu gets it to ground where Boronia have got the numbers, and they'll mop up nicely through Henderson. Henderson, now the switch is on. It's been 2 kicks from the broadcast side to the outer side, and Bolton kicked the first goal of this match, puts a pass out front of Hannon. Hannon claims it, but the boundary line is also there to see a boundary throw in.
I know it's only early days, boys, but I just can't see where Templestowe are going to get their goals with the way they're playing their football.
They're looking dysfunctional up forward, aren't they, Ray? And they're just the ball movement inside forward 50 hasn't been great.
Henderson did win that tap, but Templestowe managed to hold it into the area before they spear a hand pass out, and Jackson loads up a long kick. And it's gone all the way out on full, unfortunately.
Free kick, holding the man.
Well, holding the man in defence, so it's Boronia's kick. Rutherford gets it all the way to his teammate in Fairchild. He's quick to reel on to his right. Goes into the centre corridor. It's a high kick, but it will get his man. Nicely marked by the goal kicker, White. White with the orange boot. Goes to half forward. He's got a tall, just drifting into the contest. Nice mark taken there by Hannon, and Luke Hannon's been very good. He's got an outside runner to give it to. Now the loaded up kick from Bolton gets all the way to the goal square, but the defence just in time to take the mark for Templestowe, so they hold off another goal.
It's their boundary side, Tim Fitzsimons.
This outer side, there's a bit of mud around, so if either side wants to move the ball quickly, the corridor's the way to go.
Great work from Tim Fitzsimons. He'll be braving the freezing conditions today. Of course, 12 degrees the maximum here in Melbourne today. Kick towards right half back for Templestowe. Rundle takes the mark. The Dockers will look to move it forward once again. Chip pass, didn't quite hit the target there in Bain. Had to take it on the half volley and was bumped off the football by McKernan. We'll have a ball in on the attacking 50 for the Hawks.
I think that Boronia have bullied Templestowe into not being confident about the way they want to play their football, because every time a Tempe guy gets the football, he's just harassed.
Dockers defence under pressure once again. Hand pass comes out to White. Can he kick his second? The man with the orange boots slews it through for a behind and a minus score. So Boronia move on to 3-1-19. The Dockers yet to score with gone almost 20 minutes.
Ray, the one knock I've got on Boronia at the moment, when they do kick it inside forward 50, quite often so far we have seen them just bomb it, and the Templestowe defenders have been sitting under it each and every time. They want to correct that up for the quarters to come, you'd think.
No doubt.
Bain kicks it to himself and he goes out to the broadcast side. He faked that he was going to go to the outer side. Early fly will be penalised from Boronia, and sheepishly picking himself up will be Rundle, who got collected from Collins coming in from the side. So Rundle might hand pass it backwards to Bain because he can't take the kick, but that's a play-on situation. Collins was awake to that, rushed Bain into it, but Bain runs around him. Wadsworth gets pushed as he tried to mark, no free. Luckily enough, the ball bounces to Murphy. Murphy just puts a kick to half forward. The bouncing ball eludes Vanchulu. Now Wilson goes in, tackle to the ground, bounces his way back up. Murphy might kick it off the ground, but he just didn't get there in time. Tackle flies in. Boronia under a heap of pressure at half-back close to the line. They finally get a little dinking kick, and they're off and racing through White. White uses a hand pass backwards, and tackle on Lake might be pinged. No, it won't, but Templestowe got a play-on situation. Mariani got it to a teammate, but White's there again to mop up after a great tackle. And it's now Dodd who will kick it from half back and drive Boronia into the forward line, where it's been nicely marked by McKernan. McKernan to the leading option, not a great kick, and allows the defence to rush through, and they will clear Templestowe. Oh, what a tackle! That's got to be pinged, but getting Prestigiacomo was rushed. Big smother comes in from Rundle. Collins couldn't get the kick at goal, and it's now Hannon rushing in. And it'll be a ball up at centre forward.
Ray, this movement out of defence by Boronia just before, it really typifies their quarter so far. I know you mentioned every time a Templestowe player gets the ball, they feel under that much pressure, they can't use it to the best effect. But you mentioned when Boronia does get the footy, they lower their eyes and they're able to spot up targets time and again.
So it's a big contest at centre forward as Boronia lead by 19, have done all the scoring in this first term.
I'm just going to bring you back up here for a minute, boys. When all that play was going on there, that was fantastic umpiring by Jamie Beattie. Look, there was two or three free kicks. He just let it play on, and in this type of game, that's what you want. Let the ball keep going.
Joshua Hannon knocked it forward, so it's dangerous again with White getting on the ball, but he's tackled to the ground, picked up by Allen. He couldn't get a kick at ball, and he's been penalised for not doing so. And the free kick goes awarded to Templestowe, and to their own relief, Tempone will take the kick deep in his own defence.
So Tempone kicks towards right half back. Flyover behind was lodged, but in front, great hands there from Rundle. Takes the mark at right half back for the Dockers as they move it down the broadcast wing. Spearing ball in the Wadsworth direction. Again, couldn't take it on the half volley. Boronia have the numbers at the back. Dodd got the hand pass back to his teammate in Henderson, who retrieves the football, looks into the middle. They'll move it through the corridor. Great lateral switch to the man in Bolton. Spearing ball to centre half forward, but the Dockers again catching them out on the counter attack. DeCarlo looks to the outer wing. It's all Boronia, however. Not enough direction in their kicks. Bolton, hand pass back to McKernan. Sends a high looping ball towards right half forward. Good spoil. Found Fairchild. I think it's gone out of bounds here. The umpire calling it back. It's a shame because Fairchild kicked the goal in the interim. But it'll be a throw in at right half for Boronia on the 50.
What Boronia are also doing is when the ball comes across this side, they're holding their structure in the centre of the ground. So they know that without even looking, they kick the ball there and there's two or three options. Whereas the Templestowe guys are chasing the ball.
Tell you what, Ryan White, those orange boots are doing things to me, boys.
I don't want to know what they're doing to you, actually.
Well, he's playing well, justifying the fluoro boots. As the ball set in motion once again, forced to ground level for the Dockers. Hand pass comes from Bain, but the Hawks will try and move it forward and taken over the boundary line there as Rapasada will have a ball in the same spot.
That's been behind a lot of Boronia's goals earlier in this term, Ray. You mentioned they're owning the corridor at the moment. It's essential that they do switch it because, as we mentioned, you get stuck out on the wings, you're going to be there for a long time.
Tap one for the Dockers by Fancellu. Forced to ground level again, the ball in dispute, and we'll have a secondary bounce from the throw in. It's a shame White's not wearing white boots. I think a greater synergy there.
What have we got a fixation with people's fashion sense on the team today, do we?
That's it. I think it rubs off from you, Dan.
It obviously hits a nerve, though.
I must have overtaken you, Gav Casey, is the best dressed one on the team.
No, you didn't, but I just noticed it.
Very dapper. Jackson was caught. We'll have another bounce. 45 out from the Hawks' goal. Just a bit of a sedation in play. Round level again, no one can get an effective kick out. Falling to ground and over the line was Murphy. We'll have a throw in once again. 45 out from the Hawks goal.
A lot of players around that stoppage.
Whistle going to Boronia. Well, the free kick, there's been a hold on the contest. So the umpires come in from the centre corridor to pay it. And we'll just get the camera on to who will take the kick. Get out of the way, Jess Bolton. As it's Garrity.
Nobody puts Jess Bolton in a corner, Gav.
It's Garrity from the pocket. He might be on his range there. His left foot puts it to the teeth of the goals. The pack goes at it, punched at ground level, and it'll be seen over the boundary line into the pocket.
Gee, the next goal either way is going to be crucial, isn't it? Boronia get the next one, it's a 25-point margin. Templestowe get one there in touch.
Big opportunity to extend the 19-point lead here for Boronia. Deep in their forward line, the tap one by Joshua Hannon, the taller brother, with Luke dominating already. Boronia trying to get the hand pass into open space as Templestowe are working hard just to hold up now, but it's Boronia who'll drive a long kick through McKernan into the hot spot, 30 metres out, ground level roving, nicely done by Patterson, but his kick didn't go too far into Pony, again holds up, shares it with her teammate, and they're out through May on the half-back line. He'll have to slow it down because there's not a single option he can go to yet. Now he just drives over the top to the wing, but the man who tried to get it over, Luke Hannon, he drifted into the mark, stood underneath it and took a beautiful mark, knowing that he'd be crashed into. His driving kick finds the running Bolton. Bolton didn't muck around, went long and he missed it, rushed himself, but it's still a contest now with Rutherford in there, Patterson as well. Patterson spooned the hand pass out, but the defence holding up nicely for Templestowe, and they kick it off the ground just to try to clear the trouble, and they might just do. Tackled as he tried to get a kick was Mariani. Watson's in there for Boronia, but he didn't get a clear kick, and Templestowe drive it forward to Wadsworth, who takes the mark on the outer wing. He's got a man in the middle, Murphy, who's a cool customer, spoons a hand pass out to the running option in Mariani. Now they go out wide and they'll settle it down. As the siren sounds, it's not a great quarter for Templestowe. They did not score. Boronia 3-1-19, leading by that margin. It's quarter time in this important round 18 clash.
Gee, you know, we often, I suppose we often talk about the term come to play, and Boronia has come to play, no doubt about it.